Everyone, I have an announcement. Mika and I have been seeing each other. Sorry, Ren, but you were never really right for her. Go ahead, make a scene. Show everyone how boring you really are.
Honestly, Ren, you thought I'd settle for a quiet engineer? Here, take your ring back.
So this was their plan all along. Fine. Playtime is over.
Ren didn't argue. He simply pulled out his phone and forwarded one document to every guest in the room. Phones chimed across the hall. When the guests opened the attachment, the room went dead silent. A dead acknowledgement for 6 figures, with Kaito's signature and the family home listed.
What is this? Why do they have that? Ren, what did you do?
Kaito, you owe a loan shark 6 figures and used our family home as collateral. Are you insane?
I'm done being this family's safety net. You wanted the spotlight, Kaito. Now you've got it.
He poured a drink, raised the glass with a cold smile, and walked out. Behind him, Kaito's phone erupted with calls from loan shark enforcers. The night air was cold as Ren returned to his quiet apartment. The chaos of the party, already a distant storm.
Ren, open up. We need to talk.
What do you want, Dad? It's late.
Please, Ren. Kaito's in trouble. They're going to take the house. You are the only one who can help.
I've been the only one for years. When Kaito spent his life chasing schemes, who kept the family stable. Me. Now he's made his mess. Let him clean it.
Son, I am begging you. We'll lose everything we worked for. Can't you do this one thing for your mother?
One thing. Every time it's one thing. Until next time. I am done, Dad. I can't be the safety net anymore.
His mother broke into sobs as his father led her away, the door closing with a final, hollow click.
I really did it. They'll never forgive me. But it had to stop.
As the silence stretched, his phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. Impressed by your style. Let's meet. Akari. Ren entered the upscale cafe and immediately spotted her, a woman in a sharp suit, waiting with unnerving calm.
Ren Todo, you have a reputation for being quiet, but tonight you were anything but. I am impressed. Sit.
You are the operations manager for a loan shark. What could you possibly want with a systems engineer?
Your brother's debt is just the tip. He got tangled with people far more dangerous than petty lenders, and that chaos you caused, I liked it.
So you are not here to collect. Then what's your angle?
I have a proposition, mutual benefit. You have skills and motive. I have resources and a name you need to know.
Why would I trust you? You work for the people threatening my family.
Trust is expensive, but your brother's time is running out. Think about it. Just don't take too long.
She left a sleek black business card on the table. No address, only the name, Akari, and a number, and disappeared into the afternoon crowd.
This isn't just about the debt. There's a much larger game unfolding, and she's the only one who knows the rules.
2 days later, Ren's parents arrived at his apartment, a formal letter trembling in his father's hand.
The loan shark sent a final notice. We have 2 weeks to pay, or they take the house. Ren, please, we're out of options.
Your brother has disappeared. We don't even know where he is. If we lose the house, we'll have nothing.
Kaito signed that paper, not me. He gambled with your home and lost. I can't keep fixing his disasters.
His mother wept, and his father's pleas turned to bitter silence as they left, the weight of the letter still on the table. Later that day, at his office, Mika stormed in, her face flushed with fury.
Do you have any idea what you've done? My family is being shunned. Everyone thinks we're tied to criminals. This is your fault.
My fault? You laughed and tossed my ring away. You chose Kaito. Now you get to live with what he really is.
Mika stormed out, her heels clicking with humiliation. The office fell silent, leaving Ren alone with his thoughts.
Even now, everyone only cares about themselves. Maybe Akari's card is the only door left that isn't nailed shut.
The phone on Ren's desk lit up, Akari's name flashing with an urgency that cut through the silence.
Ren, listen carefully. Kaito's been located. My boss's enforcers are closing in. Come to my office if you want a chance to save him.
Why should I trust you? Last time you talked in riddles and threats. What's really going on?
Because Kaito's debt is only a fraction of the story. If you don't act now, he'll disappear and your family will lose far more than the house.
Across the city, Kaito crouched in a squalid room, his phone screen a wall of missed calls from numbers he knew too well.
They found me. I should have run further. Why did I ever think I could scam them and walk away?
Heavy footsteps halted right outside. Through the peephole, two broad silhouettes stood motionless, waiting. Ren pushed through the doors of Akari's modern office, his heart still racing from the call. Without a word, she slid a heavy ledger across the glass desk. Its pages were filled with entries in stark red ink.
This is the real debt. Your brother's dealings, the interest, the collateral. The only way to clear it is to work with me.
These entries. Services rendered? Kaito was running collections for you, paying off interest with dirty work.
He was a courier, cash pickups, threat deliveries. The debt you exposed is only the tip. My boss inflated it to make Kaito a permanent pawn.
You knew all along. This was never just about him owing money. What do you actually want from me?
I've been investigating my boss for 5 years. I need someone on the inside. Someone he won't suspect. A bitter brother with tech skills. That's you.
Ren stared at the ledger, his brother's shaky signature next to the word enforcer, his stomach hollowing.
You expect me to betray my own brother, while he's running from the very criminals you work for.
Your brother made his choices. Now you make yours. Help me bring the boss down, and your family walks free. Refuse, and by next week, the enforcers will have Kaito in the house.
The words hung in the air, a deal signed in blood before Ren could even raise a pen.
She's not wrong. Kaito dug this grave, but can I really become a mole in a criminal syndicate?
Clock's ticking. Ren, walk out now, and you'll never see your brother again. Stay, and maybe you'll both survive.
Ren slipped into Kaito's abandoned apartment, the stale air thick with dust and unasked questions. Behind a loose panel, his fingers found a crumpled photograph, Kaito laughing at a bar, surrounded by thugs.
Who is that in the background? That fury. It's Akari. She wasn't just a bystander. This is personal.
Ren stormed into Akari's office, slamming the photograph onto her desk.
You knew Kaito before any of this. Why are you really after him? And don't lie to me.
You found my ghost. That photo, I was 20. My brother had just been crushed by the boss's loans. Kaito and his crew were the ones who hounded him to the edge. He took his own life a week later. I've spent 6 years climbing into this organization, waiting for the moment to bring it all down, including your brother. I tracked Kaito for years, learned his habits, his weaknesses. When you exposed that debt, I saw my opening. Through you, your brother helped destroy my family. Now I am giving you a chance to make it right, or to join him in the hole he dug.
This isn't about saving Kaito anymore. It's about atoning for his sins, and maybe stopping a cycle of blood. I'll help you take him down. But my parents don't lose their home, no matter how this ends. That's non-negotiable.
Fine, the house stays. Then we start now. I'll teach you the layout, the codes, how to plant a bug without getting caught.
Over the following days, Akari drilled him ruthlessly. Code words, guard rotations, blind spots in the security cameras, and how to plant a listening device without leaving a trace. Ren adopted the cover of a bitter sibling desperate to save his family home, using the story to gain entry into the loan shark's network of front businesses and back offices. After a tense encounter where an enforcer questioned his credentials, Ren retreated to Akari's apartment, his hands still trembling from the adrenaline.
Don't get attached to this life, or to me. In our world, attachment gets you killed.
Then why are you still here, Akari? 6 years of waiting. That's not just revenge. That's attachment.
Maybe. Or maybe it's just unfinished business. Either way, don't make my mistakes.
By the end of the week, Ren was a regular at the organization's gambling dens and money exchanges, his custom software silently cloning their financial records. They had become partners in more than crime. Their motives tangled, their trust fragile, and the boss's shadow growing ever closer. Ren's phone exploded with a video call from a blocked number. He knew. His heart slammed as he pressed accept. On screen, Kaito was on his knees, face swollen, a gun barrel digging into his skull. The enforcer grinned behind him. The enforcer's voice sliced through the speaker. "Come to the old warehouse alone. Boss wants a chat. 30 minutes, or your brother is a corpse."
30 minutes. No time for a plan. No backup. If I go, I might not come back. But if I don't, Kaito's dead.
Ren, no. This is a trap. You are walking straight into his hands. We need to call my contacts. We need...
There's no time. This is my fault. I lit the fuse. I won't hide while he burns.
Then I am coming with you. I'll cover you. We'll both...
Number. If we both go, we both die. You stay here. If I don't come back, finish what we started.
He grabbed her shoulders. Then his mouth crashed against hers. A fractured, desperate kiss that tasted of goodbye.
Come back.
The old warehouse loomed ahead. Ren parked, his hands steady, but his pulse a drumbeat in his ears. 2 guards patted him down, then shoved him through a rusted door into a cavernous room, lit by flickering lights.
So this is the infamous boss, scarred, built like a tank, and smiling like he already owns me.
The boss's voice rumbled from the shadows. "You've got guts, but I know you are more than a simple engineer."
I don't know what you are talking about. I am just here for my brother.
He laughed, stepping into the light. "You've been poking into my business. Impressive. Work for me, and I'll forget the debt."
Play along. Slip the drive into the server while he's toying with me.
The boss snapped his fingers. Simple deal. But in the corner, a lieutenant studied Ren with cold, narrowed eyes.
That lieutenant knows something's off. If he checks the server room, we're dead.
Beneath Ren's foot, a tiny USB drive blinked once. Then a silent data transfer began siphoning millions into an untraceable account. Outside in the surveillance van, Akari's blood ran cold. The corrupted files weren't just about money. They listed a dozen high-ranking police officers on the boss's payroll.
Number, the cops are bought. If we go public with this, they'll bury us before the boss even lifts a finger.
With shaking fingers, Akari dialed a number she hadn't called in 6 years. A former enforcer who walked away after her brother's death.
It's me. I need your help. The boss has Ren inside, and if we don't move fast, he'll kill them both.
Inside the warehouse, the boss thrust a phone at Ren. "Call your parents. Tell them the good news. You work for me now."
Mom, Dad, I've taken a new job. The debt's been handled. Don't worry about anything.
Through the speaker, his mother's sobs turned to confusion. His father's voice cracked. "Ren, what have you done?"
It's fine. Just trust me. I'll call you later.
The boss took back the phone with a smirk. "Now your family." The words dripped with finality.
He'll meet us at the old docks. But Ren, hold on. I'm coming for you.
The lieutenant stepped out to take a call. Ren seized his chance and slid toward a server terminal, fingers flying.
Last batch of funds transferring. Akari's contact gave us a clean account. 1 more minute, and we vanish.
He typed a 10-character code into a burner phone and hit send, the signal for immediate extraction. In a side room, Kaito slumped against a pipe, wrists raw and swollen, his haggard eyes lifting at the sound of footsteps.
Ren, you came for me after everything I did. Why?
Don't thank me yet. We're not out. Can you run?
Outside, tires screamed. Akari floored the van straight into the warehouse's main generator. Sparks exploded, plunging everything into darkness. In the pitch black, Ren hauled Kaito to his feet, and they sprinted for a side exit, shouts and gunfire erupting behind them. A bullet cracked past Ren's ear as the van door slid open. Akari's voice cut through. "Get in." They tumbled inside. Akari stomped the accelerator. Tires smoking as enforcers swarmed out of the warehouse. In the back, Kaito collapsed, his whisper breaking. "I am sorry." The safe house was cramped, but it held everything they needed. A laptop, a phone, and 6 years of dangerous secrets.
We have it all. Wiretaps, ledgers, names. Enough to put the boss away for life. I just need to send it to the right people.
Ren blasted the evidence to 50 journalists. 6 hours later, every network showed the raid. The family home received a call. The debt was legally voided. The contract ruled criminal usury. His parents wept with relief. That evening, Ren sat across from Kaito. No more running. No more heroes.
I was jealous. You had stability, I had debts. Taking Mika was a desperate attempt to feel like I'd won.
You nearly destroyed everything. The family, the house, my trust, because you wanted to feel like a winner.
I know I was weak. I blamed you for my failures. But you still came back for me.
I can't forgive you yet. But I won't let you be killed. That's not who I am.
Kaito nodded, silent tears cutting tracks through the grime. For the first time, he faced the truth of what he'd done. Ren sat his parents down in the living room, the air heavy with everything unsaid.
I worked with Akari, the Loan Shark's operations manager. Kaito wasn't just a debtor, he ran cash for them.
You got mixed up with criminals? You should have come to us. We're your parents.
His father's hand slammed the table, then fell silent. His mother buried her face, her quiet sobs filling the room.
We always coddled Kaito, and we never saw how much you carried alone. We're sorry.
I didn't do it for thanks. The house is safe. That's enough for now.
That night, a hesitant knock came at his door. Mika stood in the hallway, eyes bright with a rehearsed plea.
Ren, I heard what you did. You are a hero. Maybe we could start over. Forget Kaito, like it never happened.
You thought trading stability for a fantasy was a step up. It wasn't. Go home, Mika. I am not your backup plan.
She stepped back as though struck, then turned and walked away. The click of her heels fading into the night. Akari left her resignation on the empty desk, her badge beside it. 6 years of waiting ended with a single envelope. That evening, she met Ren on his rooftop. The city sprawled below in amber light.
I thought I'd feel empty after letting go, but I just feel tired.
Tired is better than angry. At least the fight's over.
I trusted you with my life, but trusting you with the rest of me, that's harder.
I don't know how to do this, but I'd like to try. With you.
Then let's go somewhere no one knows us, where we can just be us.
She laced her fingers through his. They watched trains crawl across the city, carrying strangers toward futures unknown. No grand confession, no swelling music. Just two people who had seen the worst of each other and decided, anyway, to walk forward. And with that, they stepped away from the edge, toward whatever came next. Months later, a small coastal apartment held the scent of salt and new paint. Ren worked remotely, while Akari stacked second-hand books on freshly built shelves. The news played in the background. The Loan Shark boss had been sentenced to 20 years. The corruption scandal brought down 3 police chiefs and a dozen officers.
Your evidence did more than just free us. It cleaned house for an entire city.
And your brother gets his second chance. Did you see the verdict? Probation, community service. He walked out of court with our parents. They looked lighter.
I never thought I'd find this much peace in ordinary work. This is penance. But it's also a start.
Somewhere in the city, Mika scrolled past a photo of Ren and Akari in front of their bookstore. The caption read, "New Beginnings."
She's smiling. He never smiled like that with me.
The past had its claws in all of them. But for the first time, the future wasn't a threat. It was a choice. And in that small coastal town, Two people who had walked through fire finally found a place to rest. They often walked this stretch of shore at dusk, bare feet sinking into cool sand, the roar of waves filling the silence they no longer needed to fill.
Do you ever regret it? The risk, the lies, everything we had to do.
What the risk? Number. The only thing I regret is waiting so long to put myself first.
She squeezed his hand, and they settled onto their favorite bench, the one that faced the horizon, where the sky met the sea in a line of gold.
I still have nightmares. Not every night, but sometimes.
Me too, but they're fading. The edges aren't as sharp.
The sun melted into the water, painting the sky in shades of rose and amber. A cool breeze stirred the sand, carrying the scent of salt and seaweed.
Then, let's keep putting ourselves first, together.
She rested her head on his shoulder, and for a long while, they didn't speak, just watched the waves roll in, endless and forgiving. The screen faded to black, leaving only the sound of the tide, steady, gentle, and free. On a cool autumn morning, Ren's parents arrived at the coastal apartment with a fruit basket and nervous smiles.
This place feels right. We're sorry for all the years we made you carry the weight.
His mother embraced Akari, no words needed. The gesture said everything. A letter from Kaito arrived that afternoon, postmarked from his community service site. I know I can never make up for what I did, but I am trying to be someone you can be proud of. One day, your brother, Kaito. Ren placed the letter in a drawer, next to a photograph of two young brothers, smiling before the fall. Akari brought him coffee, pressed a kiss to his hair, and hummed as she returned to her books. On his wrist, the old watch ticked, not the past, but the present. In the end, some stories don't end with fireworks. They end with a clock that keeps ticking, a hand to hold, and the courage to finally walk away from what was never meant to be. And the watch kept ticking. Weeks turned into months. The small bookstore near the sea finally opened its doors, its shelves lined with second-hand stories and fresh starts.
A year ago, I was about to marry a stranger. Now I am here, with her, and the silence isn't lonely anymore.
Sometimes I think about my brother. The revenge didn't bring him back, but the justice did. And you helped me find that.
We both lost pieces of ourselves, but we found something else in the wreckage. That's not nothing.
The business card Akari had given him months ago was now pinned to a corkboard in their apartment, a reminder of how far they'd come. Their life was simple. Cooking together, walking the shoreline, reading in silence. The extraordinary had settled into the ordinary.
Do you think we'll ever forget? All of it?
Number. But forgetting would be a waste. We survived it. That's the point.
From the apartment window, the sea stretched into infinity, somewhere beyond it. Kaito was sweeping pavements. Mika was learning to be alone, and the to-do family was slowly stitching itself back together. The watch on Ren's wrist continued its quiet, steady march forward, and for the first time, he was happy to keep time. Across the country, Kaito's probation covered more than community service. It covered a man learning to stand without leaning. Mika found a job in a small boutique, learning the quiet dignity of earning her own way, something she'd never tried before. The Tado family home no longer echoed with secrets. His parents finally redecorated the room that had always belonged to Ren. In the coastal town, Ren and Akari had found a rhythm. Morning coffee, afternoon book orders, evening walks along the pier.
No one knows our past here. We're just the young couple who own the bookstore. That is enough.
The quiet isn't silence anymore. It's the sound of building something worth keeping.
Kaito's second letter arrived on a Tuesday, this time with a photo of his own small apartment and a single line, "I get it now." Neither Ren nor Akari spoke of wedding rings or grand ceremonies. They had learned that survival was itself a form of promise. The secret debt that destroyed one world had, impossibly, built another, more fragile, more honest, and entirely their own. And somewhere between the tide and the ticking of a mended watch, two people found that the end of a story is only the beginning of knowing what it was really about. In the quiet of a Tuesday morning, with no alarms and no debts, Ren and Akari woke to the sound of waves and the smell of coffee. The bookstore would open at 10. There was no rush, no one chasing them. Just the gentle rhythm of a life they had chosen. They walked the shoreline as they did every day, leaving footprints that the tide would erase. It didn't matter. They would walk again tomorrow. In the small kitchen, they'd bicker about trivial things. Whose turn to cook, whether the novels needed restocking. Arguments that ended in laughter. Akari no longer flinched at unexpected knocks. Ren no longer tensed when the phone rang. They had unlearned fear. Sometimes, they'd sit on the porch and watch the stars, saying nothing. The silence was full, not empty. They had no dramatic reunion with the past, no tearful closure with Kaito or Mika. Some wounds heal through distance, not confrontation. Ren's father's watch still ticked on his wrist. It had become a reminder that time moves forward, and that was a gift. The tide washed the shore clean. And when the sun set, it didn't feel like an ending, just a pause before another day. And so, in a world that had once crumbled beneath them, they built something that would last. Not a fortress, but a home. Not perfection, but peace. A year after their bookstore opened, they still began each morning the same way. 2 cups of coffee on the porch, the sea stretching out before them.
Do you remember the last morning we were afraid?
Number. I only remember the first morning we weren't.
The old watch on Ren's wrist ticked, as it always did. The same watch his father had worn, now keeping time for a new chapter. Behind them, the bookstore waited. The shelves were lined with stories of adventure and loss, but the quietest story was their own. They had no debts, no secrets, no enemies. Just a small life, carefully built, fiercely protected. And when the world forgot their faces and the headlines faded, they remained. Not as survivors, but as proof that some things are worth starting over for. The watch hands aligned at 12. Not midnight, but noon, the brightest hour. And in that light, they walked, leaving behind the shadows that had once defined them, carrying only each other. The tide came in, erased their footprints, and the screen faded to black.